Yeah, y'all. Peace to the divine black family. 6 to 22 strand, 7 to 9 ether. You melanin base, selenium base, I should say. Trying this live thing on YouTube, man. I'm making a strong effort to become more consistent utilizing this YouTube since the spirit, because this Caucasoid and this recessive has no control over me. So therefore, it wasn't the Caucasoid and the recessive who eliminated my account full of information. Over 2,000 followers in the last 5 to 6 months. Still private account, which is very interesting, because my last account, they told me to go private to protect my account, and I did go private, and they still deleted my whole damn account. But anyway, we don't give too much attention to the recessive unless we're breaking the recessive down scientifically and explaining their dysfunction and their sickness. All right. I see one person is there, you know what I mean? But that's all right. I'm gonna still do this like I do this because I do it like I do it so well, you dig? Tonight, now I noticed that with YouTube, they make you put a title on the live video before you start. Now, I didn't come here with no specific form of organized topic. As y'all already know, or you should know, and I know most of y'all really don't, because I usually title my work or my videos after they're already recorded, so you have no idea. But the students of mine and the people that I'm speaking to on those videos that y'all see on my channel, they're aware that it's very random. And if you listen to the video, when I start the video, it's usually like, yo, what's on your mind, that type of stuff. Now, I'm extremely not used to doing this type of thing where I'm just talking to my damn self pretty much, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to try and experience this YouTube live tonight. So because YouTube forced me to give a title before they allow me to go live, I chose what I had just recently experienced on my other pages that are nowhere near controversial, nowhere near full of science and information as the page that was deleted, which lets you know that's why those pages still exist. But I'm noticing this racism, love-hate nonsense. Now, I already broke down the love-hate aspect a long time ago. And also, you know what I'm noticing too? And to be very honest, I know y'all think I attack women a lot, but peace. Oh, thank you so much. See, I was waiting to see somebody. Peace, beloved. Peace. I didn't even get a chance. Oh, okay. So I see on YouTube, they just make you disappear and fade away. Okay. All right. D1 knockers. Peace. I'm noticing our beautiful, listen, my divine creatress, black feminine woman, who is my God. I don't know who y'all God is, but she's my God. I know y'all need to uplift everybody. I know y'all need to love everybody. I know this already, and I understand this about y'all nature. Trust me, I do. But I'm noticing this new thing with y'all praising obesity, deformities, and amputees. Now, one thing we have to understand, that if we truly studied our culture, we should already know, all right? Some of y'all already know this, but we discarded disformed babies because we understood to allow a disformed baby to survive within the village, society, kingdom, so on and so forth, or the bloodline of a family, that we were infecting the genetics and infecting the spirit of the others who are not deformed. Not only that, the praise of deformities and the embracement of them leads to deformed forms of attraction and sex. Hello? Now, who's a group of people that praise deformities their whole existence on this planet? Take a wild guess. And where has that led them in their orientations and attractions and love? I had to title this video because they would not let me go live without titling it. So I titled it that. But who's ever watching, who's ever listening, you know, I'm here to speak. Homosexuality. I did the homosexuality thing. I don't even want to talk about homosexuality no more. I already broke that down. I'm going to keep this about what's in my title. Racism and deformities. Now, a beautiful, who I like to call my raging waters, who is transforming into the calm crystal stream that she is. And you know who you are. Shout out to Harlem World. She sent me a text showing me a screenshot of a pretty intelligent brother who I respect. Won't name any names. But he mentioned that racism is natural. Now, I'm realizing that I chose this paradigm for a reason. Tonight, we're not in the God realm. Let me make that clear. Because tonight, I'm going to be very human with y'all asses. Let me make that clear. Tonight is not the God realm. So y'all going to see the difference. Now, let's get to racism first. The aspect that I was introduced to that, wait a second now, D1 knockers, let's hold our horses real quick. Because racism is an invention. So you want to say racism, and now let me address what you just said. You just said racism is taught. But let me address that, because do you teach the wolf to chase the fox? And by the way, would you call the wolf's need to eat the fox or kill the fox racist against the species of fox? Would you call the lion's need to chase and kill the gazelle and the zebra racist? Or is it something that's encoded in its genetics as a carnivorous animal? Okay. Now here's another thing I don't like about this YouTube stuff. When you comment, it's blocking the screen, but that's all right because it goes away, so that's cool, no doubt. We must understand, white people do not hate you. Let's get that out the way. White people do not hate black people. Now, they use forms of aggression and hate to justify their forms of envy or jealousy, for lack of a better word, of our existence as original people and gods and divine beings of this earth. But trust me, they don't hate you. They've been worshiping you forever. White people have been worshiping you since they crawled out the caves. So we can't necessarily call our discrimination and our treatment as white people as hate. I'll give you an example. Peace, brother. Peace, brother. Iron Walton. Peace, peace. We can't necessarily call it hate. We have to think like scientists. And we have to come to this utilizing intelligence, observation, and accumulation of history and all different forms. Shayla Riddle, peace, peace goddess, peace creatress. Thank you for bringing me into this world, by the way. We have to look at this as scientists. The wolf does not hate the fox. The lion does not hate the gazelle. Okay? The dog does not hate the cat. One example is the minstrel shows. Yes, precisely, Shayla or Sheila. The minstrel shows. The minstrel show is a form of worship. By the way, since my beautiful queen, qualities uniting essential earth nurturing, since the beautiful queen brought that up, let me connect that. And see, that's another thing about having so much information. I know I go in circles, I don't stay on topic. But let me connect that to the fact that during the 800 years of the Moors' rulership over Europe, the Moors introduced something called masquerade parties. During these masquerade parties, only Moors were allowed to attend. So what white people would do was they would paint themselves black. They would put like fake booties and all this shit and masks and shit. And they would, you know, crash these masquerade parties. So when you see minstrel shows and blackface, understand that you're being worshipped. Understand that. The same way that our indoctrinated, colonized black asses worship them, because every time yo ass put on a motherfucking bleach blonde wig, bleach blonde weave, blue eyes, anytime any of our men wanna perm their own hair, the things that men do, the things that women do, anytime we bleach our skin, we're worshiping them. So but see, our worship comes from our indoctrination. Their worship comes from our observation as gods. You understand? Comes from our rulership, our nobility, and our divinity over them from the times of Europe and abroad throughout the world. Now, let me not get off topic. I also want to acknowledge the fact that when we speak of racism, we must separate prejudice from racism. By all means, anyone can be prejudiced. But I know y'all have heard this dozens of times. I'm not the first one to say it. Racism is a systematic aspect that has to do with power. Racism began with white people. Racism did not come naturally. Millie Mill, peace, peace, peace to the gods. Racism did not begin naturally with indigenous people. And this is very evident because every indigenous culture has a similarity within symbols and within rituals, ceremonies, and tribes. I'll give you just one example. The Nile River was like the Mississippi River on this side. You have the Hopi Nile, which is another term for the Nile, the Hapi, or which is a god, by the way, Hapi, who's basically representative of the god. Primordial Beings blog in the house. Yes, Makiba Greg. Oh, my divine primordial black waters. Man, please, man. My primordial black waters who gave birth to the first son, Atum, who Ptah sits on the hill. Don't get me started. You're gonna get me all emotional. But back to the topic. The Hapi deity, who is representative of the blue and white Nile, is also connected to the Hopi on this side, okay? Who is a quote unquote false term, Native American tribe, or really the indigenous. And we don't want to use the term Aboriginal because I'm not Aboriginal, because I'm not abnormal. Now, let's also go into the fact that the European was the very first to create the very first color caste systems in history, beginning with the Assyrians invading and taking over Indus Kush Valley civilization and committing genocide against the Harappans, Saracens, Akkadians, basically any name you want to come up with that meant the indigenous black-skinned people of these areas. When they began to take over and dominate these areas, they introduced Brahma worship. They introduced all different forms. By the way, here we go again. I can't help but to connect things. But yes, I am not either. Yes, I can't help but to connect things. The Assyrians were the ones who introduced the warrior savage art of tattooing into Indus Kush Valley. This is why, if you notice, check it out. If y'all pay attention to history, when we are introduced with an abnormal or recessive type of practice, we mix it with our indigenous soul, our indigenous spirit, almost mixing good with bad, which means nothing, because if I throw crack in your blunt, you're still smoking crack. If I put pork juice in your veggie burger, you ain't a vegetarian no more. But what we did was we took that art, we took that savage practice of tattooing from the Assyrians and turned it into, I forget the term, maybe y'all can remind me. I just had it in my head, but the term where the Indians, they pretty much do a form of tattooing, but it's not permanent. It only lasts for days to weeks. Okay, and not only that, that had to do with being connected to different mudras. These are mudras, different mudras, and different forms of meridian channels throughout the hands. This is why a lot of times it's done on the hands, all right? Henna, thank you. Sheila Riddle, thank you so much. Henna. Thank you so much, Sheila. Henna. And if you notice, henna is mostly 99% applied to the hands. They don't draw on their faces all over the place. You just see, this was an Assyrian, Thracian, okay? Assyrian, Thracian. What's the other one? Start with a D. I'm basically naming you the savage Indo-European tribes before they were civilized, okay? When they encountered the indigenous people and began to steal, quote unquote, adopt. What about body scarification? Was that before or after this? Well, scarification is a result of a fall. Not only that, we also got to remember that all these things that we did, from piercings, scarification, they were specifically for representation of group or rank and warrior status. It wasn't for fun. Even our jewelry that we wore, from our crown to the throat chakra, to the belly chains and belly rings our women wear, to the toe rings, all of that had a specific science to it, which aligned with the chakras and aligned with the meridian channels throughout the body, who the Chinese later on came along and called acupuncture. Shayla, it's the, I'm sorry. Shayla, I'm sorry. And by the way, it's very important. The tones and specific vibrations of sound that we use to dictate what we call names and words is very important. So Shayla, got you, Shayla. Where was I at? Yes. So the topic on this video that I had the title, and I had no choice. The topic on this video is racism and deformities. So I want to get out the way because somebody on IG, and like I said, another queen of mine, she texted me what he had said, and he said that racism was a natural thing for all of us. I don't know. Some of y'all just be freestyling like a motherfucker, boy. I don't know. Y'all just be freestyling and hope nobody knows shit. Fact of the matter is that racism did not exist until the invasions and the destructions due to the Indo-European and the amalgamated Arabs. All right? We got to understand, we built empires across the planet. Empires are not built through racism. Understand what an empire is. An empire is not the decimation or the genocide against a group in order to rule their land. That's the recessive style. An empire is the combination of multiple kingdoms spreading throughout the world. And in order to do that, you have to acknowledge the practices and slight differences as well as similarities between different groups and different regions of the world who happen to still look similar to you. So therefore, you create empires through that. Okay? So, yes, there's a difference between prejudice and racism. Racism is an invention. It's not natural. It's not, I didn't wake up one day and see I did not, as an indigenous, original man of this planet, I did not cross the ocean and see other people of my numerous shades of complexion and then practice racism against them. Because at the end of the day, I still knew they were part of the 9 branches of one seed and one root of this planet. This systematic racism was introduced by Indo-Europeans. And namely the Assyrians, because the Assyrians were the most savage of warriors. They were so skilled at warmongering that they wiped out not only their own groups to a certain extent, okay, from the Thracians and all these different people, but the Dorians, but also wiping out the indigenous men of certain civilizations and societies, and then raping and amalgamating with the women of those leftover civilizations and societies, creating the amalgamation first generations that later became what we call Greeks, Romans, Arabs, okay, Italians, Spaniards, Portuguese, so on and so forth. Because never forget that before this recessive, you lived on a black planet with multiple levels of melanin. Understand there are 7 main levels of melanin. So yes, we were triple black. Yes, we were blue black. Yes, we were green black. Yes, we were burgundy black. Yes, we were an indigo black. And to this very day, I've seen this. Yes, absolutely green. And to this day, I've already shown y'all some time ago. If y'all remember, ways back on my page, some of y'all might not, if you didn't follow me that long, but I showed that even to this day, you can find tribes that have that indigo tone. It's almost like a turquoise skin. To this day, you can find tribes that have almost like a burgundy brown. You see what I'm saying? So we are one root with 9 branches of 7 to 9 ether follicle. Now, I don't want to get too off topic. Now, Makiba. Now, see, this is the beauty of dealing with people that study. Because now, understand what the beautiful qualities uniting essential earth nurturing queen Makiba just brought up is the fact that to this day certain babies are still born with certain forms of green patches, which is usually, by the way, on the spine. If you research to this day, there are brown, black, all different hues of children that are born with green patches, usually by the bottom of their spine or the Kundalini energy. Okay? Let's also understand the science that, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't stand that, y'all, when I'm looking for a very specific word. I got it. It's coming. It's going to come right now. Hold on. Chlorophyll. Let's understand that chlorophyll is one magnesium molecule from melanin. Let's also understand that all things on this planet of an organic structure that grow from the ground possess chlorophyll. And all organic structures that don't grow from the ground, that are either animals, human beings, all different types of species of fish and whatever you want to call it, possess melanin. Because there's multiple different kinds of melanin. There's not just one kind of melanin. So everything on this planet possesses melanin and chlorophyll. Melanin and chlorophyll are, there you go, Iron Walton. They are cousins. Cousins is the best thing. So, and remember, chlorophyll is one magnesium molecule away from melanin. Okay? It is one magnesium molecule separated from melanin. Now, I don't want to keep getting off topic. Let's keep it straight. Point of the matter is, I would like to focus on giving y'all ammunition, because I notice the biggest problem we have in this current society is when we hear people say cliche rhetoric back to us about racism. Not all white people. Motherfucker, There's a polar bear that rides a fucking tricycle right now. Am I gonna go to North Pole with tricycles? No. We're talking about exceptions amongst majority. Do not let your exceptions sustain your deception and misconception. All right? Not all rats eat cheese, nigga. Shut the fuck up. Not all dogs chase cats. Not all monkeys eat bananas. Oh, don't y'all hate that shit? Not all white people. All white people don't do that. Fuck out of here. Anyway, now let's continue. Let's get over this racism. I want to go into the deformities next. Racism is a pure, absolute, undeniable white invention. It did not come from your people. It is not natural to the indigenous people of this earth. And it did not exist before the invasions of recessive amalgamated peoples. We have to understand, when I see someone who is to such an extreme opposite of my phenotype, bam, there goes the birth of racism. So you mean to tell me during the years of antiquity in ancient times, when I traveled across the world and seen the people of Ainu, who were similar to the Bantu and the San people of Central Africa in China, I looked at them with racism? You mean to tell me that when I traveled to this land that we call a Mexam or Turtle Island, and I seen the Yamasi, I seen the Olmecs, I seen the Folsom people with dark skin and 7 to 9 ether hair, I treated them with racism? I mean, for God's sakes, they look like my uncle or my cousin. So no, racism is not something natural. It's a systematic invention by white people. And also remember, the Assyrians, look this up, do your research, because I want y'all to be prepared, and I want y'all to be equipped for the idiots that come at you. We can't fight hate with hate. We need love. We need intelligence and righteousness, God damn it. Fuck your love. And if you listen to who I consider my spiritual father, Grandpa Clark, who y'all refer to as John Henry Clark, he'll tell you that the I love you marriage, the I love you thing came from Romans. We did not base our culture and society off I love you. I mean, for God's sake, study your principles of Ma'at. Where does it say love? I'll wait. 7 principles of Ma'at and her husband, 7 laws of the universe. Show me where it says love. There is no love in the 7 principles of Ma'at. There's no love in the 7 laws of the universe. There's not even any love in the 42 principles of Ma'at. So where the fuck are y'all getting this shit? We based everything off respect. Understand that I can respect you way before that I can learn to love you. As a matter of fact, it is the foundation of my respect for you as a woman, as an elder, as a man that gives the spark for love to grow. So get the fuck out of here with that love shit. Love and hate and all this bull, all these arbitrary words that they use as a form of dismissal and justification to their sickness. You got pedophiles walking around right now talking about age has no love. Shut the fuck up. Man, God, now I'm getting real human on y'all ass. My humanity is raising. Because these sick graftations are taking the same goddamn recycled nonsense to support their sickness. When gay pride first began, they used the same tactic. You can't put gender knows no love. Now what's the pedophile saying? Age has no love. Guess what? I can love to rob. I can love to rape. I can love to kill. Because I love doing those things. Does it make it right? Does it make it normal? Does it make it natural? Because I love doing that shit? The fuck out of here with that. Anybody that come to you with that love shit, shut them down immediately. And let's talk about respect, intelligence, and righteousness. They ain't gonna touch you with that one. Let's talk about respect, intelligence, and righteousness. No man on this earth could say, hey man, it's just righteous to rape. That don't make no sense. Because if you study and look up the word righteousness, it don't conform to rape. Hey man, it's righteous to be a homosexual. It don't make sense. But I can put love to anything. I can tell you I love roaches. Am I wrong? No, I'm not wrong. Because whatever I love is right to me because it's a feeling that you can never combat. Because what I feel will always be right to me, the person that's feeling it. Let's continue. So, get out of here with that racism shit is natural. I titled this based on that. And that's why I feel as if more black goddesses need to study more goddesses that has nothing to do with love. Yes. By the way, my beautiful primordial waters of noon, qualities uniting essential earth, nurturing queen. Just imagine how many more relationships we would have as black men and women if we went off respect rather than being in love. Because the first thing I hear from women is that, well, I'm not in love. I want to be in love. I want to love them and love this. First of all, look for the fact. All right, see, now I'm getting off topic, but I'm going to knock this out real quick. My beautiful queens, when you are seeking your polarity as the masculine energy and fire to your feminine, beautiful wisdom and water, look for potential and look for intentions. Stop looking for fairy tales. Stop looking to be head over heels. Do you think that term comes from your indigenous culture? Head over heels? Do you think your ancestors said, hey, are you head over heels over him? Well, now let's marry you guys because you're head over heels. What the fuck is head over heels? That sounds dangerous. That don't sound normal. It sounds like you about to bust your ass. God damn it. Head over heels. Get the fuck out of here. I want to be in love. I want romance. Where does that come from? I want romance. Don't get me started on that. I already did a video long ago breaking that down, so I'm not even going to go in that. But here we go. Now, I want to just get this out the way so we could be clear. Racism is a systematic invention by the Indo-European, currently called white people today. The Assyrian was the first group of Indo-Europeans to begin the very first color caste systems within Indus Kush Valley, who we today call India. It was called Indus Kush Valley because the Kushites settled India long ago as among many other lands from the Mediterranean to Greece to Phoenicia to Egypt, so on and so forth. They introduced Brahma worship, which had to deal with the head of Brahma being white and the feet of Brahma being black. I don't even want to tell you. I mean, for God's sakes. The laws, okay? I'm trying to think of what they called the Harappans at that time. Because remember, you have the Dravidians, who they call untouchables today, but there was another ancient name for them. And at as that group of people, I mean, they had something called the laws of Manu, Manu. Look that up, the laws of Manu. In the laws of Manu, if an indigenous black person of the lands of so-called India or Indus Kush Valley even looked upon food as it was being cooked, that food was contaminated. They had laws that if I'm using Dravidian for because I can't remember very quickly the original indigenous term for those people, but if a Dravidian walked through a town of Assyrians, they had to walk with a broom to brush away their footsteps, and not only that, they could only walk through that town at night. All right, so these are just a couple of laws that the Assyrians brought amongst the indigenous people of so-called Indus Kush Valley that created what we refer to as racism today. Because think about it, colored only bathrooms, colored water fountains, no colors allowed. That's no different from the Assyrians during the time of Indus Kush Valley. All right. So anytime anyone wants to come at you with racism and talking about that, because I hear that shit all the fucking, oh my God, you're racist. When the fuck did facts and history become racist? The fuck out of here with that shit. I hear it constantly, but understand. Oh yeah, I'm prejudiced like a motherfucker. I am the king of prejudice. But I still can't be racist. So understand, when anybody comes up to you with that nonsense of racism, remember to let them know and remind them that racism is a systematic oppression by a people who are in power. You cannot be racist unless you are in power. And racism is a literal exclusive invention of the Indo-Europeans, starting with the Assyrians, for creating color caste systems in Indus Kush Valley, who we call India today. Until this very day, they still have untouchables and Dravidians who are looked at as below human. All right. Now, let's go to the next subject. I'm noticing that there seems to be this new trend that I'm seeing recently. I haven't seen this until the last year or so. Maybe y'all seen it more. I don't know. Okay, so there's 0 people in here. Okay, no problem. Maybe who will see this later seen it more. But well, since there's 0 people now, let me go refill real quick. Oh, yes, peace, beloved. Qualities uniting, central earth nurturing, yes. Oh, you're very late, Dre, PC technician. But that's all right, because I'm hoping that I'll be able to save this and put this on the YouTube. Now, anyway, back to it. I'm noticing that in the last year or so, there seems to be this new trend with praising and the promotion of abnormalities in us as a people. What do I mean? I'm seeing on social media that women that are missing limbs, or amputees as they like to call them, women who are having forms of physical deformities within the face, for lack of a better word, such as different forms of Down syndrome, basically deformities that cause physical albinos is one. Now I'm gonna get into that. Bring that back. Remind me to get into that, Makiba. Remind me to get back into that in a little while, because I want to bring up something interesting that I don't think we ever think about. I'm noticing that there's this, here's the one that it's like, it's ridiculous. obesity. Y'all are praising the hell out of these obese ass bitches. I don't see y'all praising obese niggas, but y'all are praising obese bitches. What the fuck is going on? BBBBBBW. Triple quadruple BBBBW. Now, I already know the first thing that's gonna pop in most females' minds. So it's like, well, y'all men like that, and y'all men like this, and y'all men like that. But first and foremost, show me one depiction of an obese person in indigenous society. You can go to the Native Americans. You can go to the indigenous real people of America. I say Native Americans on purpose. You can go from the Native Americans to indigenous people of this land, which we call the Mexam, Turtle Island, Ancalia. I go through all the names. We can go to Nile Valley civilization. We can go to Samaria. We can go to the Tigris civilization, Euphrates civilization. Show me one depiction of a big fat person in ancient culture that was just walking around chilling, fat as hell. Obesity did not exist during your indigenous times. Obesity is a direct result and product of the chemicalized food and hormonal defects of our bodies due to the current environment and society that we're in. Obesity is not natural. I mean, for God's sakes, what is their solution for obesity? To give you a goddamn rascal. To give you a goddamn, what they call that damn thing? Goddamn scooter. So I'm 400 pounds, and what's your solution? Give me a fucking scooter. And then they got our children rolling around on hoverboards. Our children don't even know how to run anymore. Our children don't even want to go outside anymore. Hello? I remember telling me I couldn't go outside was worse than an ass whooping. Who's with me? Who remembers those days? I used to tell my mama, listen, I'll get the switch, I'll get the belt, whatever you want. Just let me go outside, man. Now these kids don't even want to go outside. And when they go outside, what are they doing? They're on their phone. You see what I'm saying? So we have to understand that what we are normalizing and praising today is only the result of the last 100 years to 400 years. But I say 100 years specifically because if we study deep enough, we would understand that in the last century, starting in the early 1900s, they mastered the chemical warfare against us. See, we think it's only in the last 20, 30 years. No, that's not true. Because they mastered mind control, MK Ultra, or study MK Ultra. MK Ultra is old as fuck. MK Ultra is not new. It's old, man. Once we got out of the 1800s, now that I think about it, it makes so much sense because remember, we was emancipated 1865. After 1865, they went into the laboratory so hard because remember, after 1865, you had this release of millions of black people that the only reason why you didn't notice them before is because they were pure slaves before that. So you didn't look at it no other way. You know what that's similar to? That's similar to taking every dog in existence and making them your ruler tomorrow. All of a sudden, now you notice how many dogs there are. You didn't notice how many dogs there were on the planet until they became your ruler. So it's exactly the same as when you were emancipated, which does not mean freedom, by the way. It means change of ownership. When you were emancipated, 1865, and you were allowed to just walk around and, kind of just slightly microscopically be yourself a little bit. Oh my God, there's millions of niggers around. But you brought millions of niggas here and you met millions of niggas here. But now you're surprised there's millions of niggas after you free them, quote unquote free them, emancipation. We have to understand that everything we see today, from our mindset, from our health, from what we like, what our preferences are, there is not one level of our existence today that is not affected by the last 100 years to 400 years of our captivity within this corporation we call America. When I see these black pages, these black women pages, and listen, I'm not attacking y'all as black women, but I'm stating the observation. I don't see men doing this. I don't see men posting back to back of a deformed female as beautiful. I don't see men doing that. I don't see men posting back to back of an extremely obese. Don't get me wrong. We love fat asses. We love titties. We love thick women. Big difference. Let me put it to you like this. If your weight changes the way you are able to walk, you're obese. There is a difference between being thick, being chubby, and being obese. I'm thick. I'm thick. All right? We must understand the difference. Okay? You got skinny, you got slim, you got thick, you got chubby, or, for lack of a better word, chubby. And then you got obese. I got no problem with my chubby, beautiful women. I got no problem with my thick, beautiful women. I got no problem with my slim, beautiful women. And I ain't got no problem with my extra slim, beautiful women. But for God's sakes, when you have rows on top of rows and you can't walk up a flight of stairs, you're fucking obese. Let's get over it. Okay, let's get over it. All right? And I seen what you said affecting your weight or your walk. Understand, beloved, qualities utilizing essential earth nurture. Understand, my beautiful queens. Your walk and your sachet. Oh, Lord. Your rhythm that makes you water, by the way. Because if you notice, a man can't walk like you. Because we're mechanical. But you walk like you're made of water. You have a smooth curvation with your existence that has no rigid aspect within it. You sashay everywhere. You see, you glide places. You don't stomp around like a Clydesdale. You see what I'm saying? You're not a mechanical machine like man, all right? I'm noticing there's this extreme praise with deformities now. And majority of it is coming from our women who, by the way, I want to give y'all this benefit, or I want to acknowledge this because this is what y'all supposed to do. I know. But guess what? Guess what, beautiful queens? You created me to put your ass in order, god damn it. Do you understand that in our ancient cultures, we tossed deformed babies off cliffs? Study! We tossed deformed babies off cliffs. Because we understood when we allowed a deformed child, which was a rarity in our indigenous society, a deformed child was so rare in our society, we knew that there was a problem. So therefore, we eliminated them completely so they did not spiritually and genetically infect the rest of the society, kingdom, village, or empire. Hello? You used to try to stop us from doing it. By the way, this is why the Europeans still exist today. I know y'all heard this before. Because y'all stopped us from wiping the European out. No, don't wipe out the white man, please. Just rope him in the mountains. He'll leave us alone. And what did we do? Because we surrender to the feminine, we listen to you. A real black man A real black man always listens to his queen. By all means, he makes the last decision. He makes the last decision. But he always listens to the wisdom of his queen. And he always surrenders to the nature of his queen. So when I watched you cry over me getting ready to wipe this recessive out, what did I do? I said, all right, y'all, let's not wipe him out. Let's rope him into the mountains. Let's toss him in some caves. Let's put him someplace where they can't escape from. And let's just hope for the best. Yeah, I know that eventually they'll probably get out and we're going to have to fight. But you know what? The queen she's going crazy. She's devastated. She doesn't want us to hurt anybody. Let's just rope him in the mountains and leave him alone. Every indigenous culture around the world, from the Americas, Africa, every indigenous culture around the world has the same mythology about the white man or the pale man or the ghost man. It's the same story every time. They were roped into the mountains and separated from indigenous society on purpose. Every culture has the same story. So you mean to tell me this is a coincidence? No, it's not. Because it's the mothers of those elderly councils that stopped us from wiping them out. And therefore, our last resort was to stuff them into caves and mountains to where we hope they couldn't escape for long times and long periods. All right. This is in every culture. Native American. You could study the Yucatan. Yucatan, Yucantan, the Yucatan dynasties. They talk about the grafting of this goddamn recessive, man. The same graftation story that we hear on the islands of Patmos is in here in South America. And they talk about roping these goddamn mutations in mountains and hiding them away. All right? We must stop glorifying obesity. Listen to me. I know that y'all want to uplift and love your sisters. But the way you love your sisters is telling them, listen, sis, why don't you come down and check out this vegan mac and cheese with me at this restaurant real quick? Listen, sis, I'm not telling you to go vegan. I'm not telling you to go vegetarian, sis. But how about one day a week, you don't eat no meat? And then when you find that that's all right, go to 2 days a week. Why are you not helping your sisters get out of obesity instead of praising their obesity? Oh, big girl slaying. What? Slaying what? The fuck are you slaying? An airport seat? Goddamn couch? What are you slaying? A rascal? What are you slaying? A pair of jeans? Not slaying anything. Could barely walk. Stop promoting and encouraging obesity. Now, I find it interesting because the fact that we are so separated with the fact that you as my black woman, my compliment, has been taught to never listen to me. Now, if you notice, I don't see the same shit going on with fat guys. I don't see y'all posting big fat giant guys and going, ooh boy, he's so sexy. Ooh boy, look at his man boobs. Oh Lord, oh boy, I need me a man with man boobs. I don't see y'all doing that shit. But y'all are supporting obese black women. But why is that? Because you have been separated from your man and therefore you have no more order. Because guess what? Once you are in balance with the masculine energy and order, he does not allow certain things to exist. Yes, women are the most exploited and men are the most murdered. Listen to me. You don't got shit without the woman. And the recessive is not an idiot. The recessive is not stupid. The recessive is a grafted mutation, but the motherfucker ain't stupid. The recessive understands that you have nothing without the black woman. The recessive understands that you have nothing without the feminine energy. So instead of destroying the feminine energy and committing genocide against the feminine energy, they're gonna exploit it. You goddamn right they're gonna exploit it. They don't exploit men. They either make us homosexual or they kill us. One or the other. They commit complete genocide against us or they make us homosexual. So, understand, we must replace the glorification and the praise of deformities, obesity, loss of limbs of amputees with solutions to the correction of the source of these problems. Once again, I'm not talking about thick women. I'm not talking about chubby women. I don't want this to be taken the wrong way as if I'm looking for you to go crazy now and starve yourself. Hell fucking no. I'm talking about, y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about these women that can barely walk. I'm talking about these women that have to have their clothes specifically tailor-made because no store in the whole United States sells their size. I'm talking about that shit. I'm talking about these women that are using scooters and rascals and all this shit to get around. I'm talking about these women that are on a borderline of this existence, that are on a borderline of that lifestyle. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about the thick woman. I'm not talking about the chubby woman. I'm not talking about her. And by all means, she should work on herself as well. But I'm not talking about her right now. I'm talking about obesity. I'm talking about obesity. I'm talking about those that are 300 pounds, 400 pounds. I'm talking about that. Now, I just recently saw a post where this so-called black women popping, you know, all the different names y'all got for these pages. This black woman, whatever page, she was promoting, I don't even know what the deformity this sister of mine, this girl had, but her whole face was deformed. Now you could tell it wasn't like, I'm not talking about a burn victim. I'm not talking about an accident that happened. I'm talking about somebody that's born a certain way. Like, perfect example. If y'all notice, someone with Down syndrome people all have the same phenotype. Because Down syndrome is a dysfunction of the chromosome. Okay? So it happens in the womb. So if you pay attention to Down syndrome, if you type in Down syndrome, you can find Down syndrome in all colors, in all races, and they all look the same. They have the same type of phenotype. All Down syndrome people have the same phenotype. Now, do y'all know who Beetlejuice is? Beetlejuice, he used to be on Howard Stern. He's a very short, he's like a midget black guy. He's a very short black guy. And he has a certain look to him. They call him Beetlejuice. I don't know if y'all aware of him. I'm trying to connect the deformity. Now, this girl I'm speaking of, this sister, because she's our sister. She was a black woman. She's our sister. And I'm not denying she's our sister. I'm not here to attack our women and our men who are born a certain way. I'm here to acknowledge that we need to get to the source of why they are being born this way. She was worse than Beetlejuice. You know how Beetlejuice got the buggy, crazy eyes and his face, you know, just everything about his face is just protruding and different. Now, I'm not sure of the, whatever you want to call it, dysfunction of what we call Beetlejuice is. I don't know the name. I never really got into studying the dysfunctions, which I will now. But she was worse than him, okay? And here we go. Oh, Lord. I love y'all so much. My black women, I love y'all so much because y'all are the mothers of this earth. And y'all know, there's something inside of y'all that knows that everything in existence is y'all child. And y'all will never deny y'all child. And I love y'all for that. But you know what my job here is as man? Is to put your ass in check. I'm sorry. My job as the mechanical motherfucker that you made me, as the nigga that is lacking the emotional capacity that you have, of a man that is lacking the soulful connection that you have, the divinity that you're born with automatically, that I lack and I need to raise. My job is to put your ass in check. My job is to be the order to your chaos. And right now, because I'm not allowed to be that, you got women walking around calling everything beautiful, calling everything great. Homosexuality is great. Oh, lesbianism, transgender is awesome. Oh, that, what? Your grandmothers didn't do that. And you know why your grandmothers didn't do that? Because they had husbands that didn't play that shit. You know damn well you couldn't be no fucking faggot into your grandfather's house. You crazy? The fuck is that? But what the fuck you got this little fairy boy in my house? We got this little sissy boy in my house. I say that to say that this sister of ours, who is our sister, she was extremely deformed, and all through the comments, oh, she's so beautiful. Oh, she's beautiful, beautiful. Oh, she's gorgeous. Oh, she's beautiful. She's so beautiful. Oh, own it, girl. Oh, she's slaying. So you mean to tell me you want to take her place? Shut the fuck up. Stop lying. Because you don't want to wake up looking like her tomorrow. So cut the bullshit. Yeah, I know what you're doing. You're the mother of all of us. And like any mother, you will never deny your child. You will never deny your child. Never. So trust me, I understand. But I'm here to bring motherfucking order. And that's what I'm going to do till I die. Because that's what you created me to do. And that's my purpose. I'm looking at this shit. And I'm like, damn. Are we really going to sit here and pretend like the deformities that we see today are beautiful? Here's the next subject, and then I'm going to start to close it out. Well, not subject, the next level to this subject. Understand that there's only one group of people on this planet that praise deformity. White people. Number two, understand that when I make deformity normal, when I make deformity normal, when I praise deformity and I seep into your subconscious that a woman who's missing a limb or who's missing an eye, who has deformed features is beautiful, what begins to happen to my society? I begin to practice abnormal acts of sexuality and attraction. This is why our ancestors discarded and eliminated deformed children. If you had a baby and the baby came out looking like a goat, and everybody praised that baby looking like a goat as beautiful, do you think it'd be harder for me to fuck a goat or easier for me to fuck a goat? We got to use intelligence, and we have to understand that everything is levels. Everything is levels, god damn it. Once you open one door, the next door will open. All right? So once you teach me to accept homosexuality, once you teach me to accept the mutilation of genitalia, which you refer to as transgender, once you teach me to accept the abnormalities and the deficiency within the features of a human being, once you teach me to accept obesity, what begins to happen to the next generation? I'm attracted to girls who got one arm. Ain't that what we hear white people say? Study fetishes. White people are the only people that worship fetishes. We talking bestiality. We talking amputees. Okay? We talking about the fucking and fetishization of midgets. We talking about pedophilia. We talking about necrophilia. This is sickness. And we're sitting here praising this shit. Oh, she's so beautiful. Stop fucking lying. Because you do not want to look like her tomorrow. Stop lying. Anyway. I told you I was going to get into my human shit. Fact of the matter is, we have to be scientists. We have to realize that everything we see today is a direct or indirect result of the chemicalization within the womb, of the deformity or the dysfunction of glandular structure within the middle brain, from pituitary to hypothalamus to pineal gland being calcified. We must understand that we are dealing with the subconscious indoctrination and conditioning after birth, normalizing sickness. There's so many levels I can go on that is causing the result that we see today as being normalized. Once again, I dare you to study the fetishes that white people worship. White people worship people that have no limbs. They want to have sex with people that don't have legs and arms. They find that attractive. White people want to have sex with animals, all right? White people want to have sex with babies and children, okay? They find this stuff arousing because them themselves come from an abnormal creation. So if you think about it, they're always looking for themselves and other abnormalities. Now, I remembered on my own, albinism. Now, I don't know if any of you saw some time ago, I broke this down around the same time I was breaking down the 7 different levels of melanin. White people are not albinos. White people don't come from us. Let's get that shit out the way. I said that. Y'all heard me say that before. White people don't come from us. Dr. Laila Africa breaks that down. Dr. Richard King breaks that down. Many people break that down. White people don't come from us. So stop. We must stop accepting this theory of white people being albino black people in some way, shape, or oh, even better, because here's the next level I hear. White people are albino Indians. Whatever. We must understand that I dare anyone to show me an ancient depiction of an albinoid black person in Nile Valley civilization, ancient Amexem or Americas, or the ancient dynasties of South Asia and the Ainu. I'll wait. All the depictions we have from the 10,000 to really, to be honest with you, 30,000, but I'm using the shit y'all can find. From the 10,000 years of Nile Valley civilization, from the 10,000 years of Sumerian civilization, from the over 10,000 years of Amexem, Olmec, all these different civilizations, where are the albinos? I'll give you one better. Where are the albinos during slavery? Think about that. Because there's endless depictions from the 1700s, 1800s, early 1900s, 1600s of black people being either brought here or already being here. Show me the albinos. Show me one drawing of an albino slave. Because, by the way, I want to mention, I have an albino brother and sister. So when we talk about albino, anybody that ever seen an albino, you know you're looking at a black person. You're looking at a black person that has a melanocyte deficiency. Because albinism does not mean you're not black. Albinism means that you have a deficiency within the melanocyte of your skin. It's a mutation of a melanocyte. It does not mean you do not possess selenium base melanin, because albinos still have selenium base. They do. But they have a mutation in their melanocyte. So this is why they still have the same afro. Hello? They still have the same nigga nose. All right? They still got the same nigga lips. But they're all void of color. So all I'm asking is, where are all the albinos from 100 years ago? Where are all the albinos from 200 years ago? Where are all the, what's the name of those melanin dense people in the cold you mentioned earlier? You're talking about the Eskimos. Now, they have another indigenous name. I can't bring it up right now, but you're referring to the Eskimos. I can't think of their original name. They have a few different names, but basically you're just looking at the amalgamations of the indigenous people of this land. So they're amalgamations, but they're still my complexion, by the way. They're still my complexion, and they're mixed with a mongoloid aspect with the epicanthic fold. Don't get me started on this stuff. That's a whole nother subject. Don't get me started on that. By the way, we over an hour and change now, so I don't want to make this too long. But by the way, please, by all means, anything you would like me to touch on, put it in the comments. Remember, Mind Ascension Alchemy is still up, which is my cooking page, on my ritual/ceremony offering page, which is the correct term, because gods don't need food, goddammit. And I damn sure ain't no motherfucking vegan. Fuck that vegan shit. You can also DM me on my barber page, Mind Ascension Barber. All right. So, but my point of the matter is, where are the ancient albinos? Let's bring up one more let's bring up one more point to this before I get off this live. If albinos, even in their rarity, matter of fact, I ain't gonna, oh God, I gotta bring up two things. Number one, if albinos, even if they were still rare during the times of slavery, wouldn't you think that they would be a high commodity amongst slave masters to put inside the house as house niggas? Where are the paintings of our presidents that have Moors and slaves in the background? Where are the albinos? I'm not even going into ancient times. I'm not going 1,000 years ago, 2,000 years ago, 3,000. I'm talking about 100. I'm talking about 200 years ago. I'm talking about 300 years ago. Where are the albinos? You know why? I broke this down long ago. Albinos are only about 100 years old. Albinos do not go into the 1800s. Not only that, hello, where's the albinos in the tribes of Indonesia? Where's the albinos on all the different islands? Where's the albinos in the Ainu of Asia? Where's the albinos? Where are they? Where are they? Hello? I'm not saying they gotta dominate the shit. I'm just saying, where's the one or two? Where's the one or two albinos in all these tribal scattered tribes that are on islands all over the world? Where are they? Albinism is a direct mutation of the melanocyte. An albinoid black person is still black. They have the same features as you. They have the same 9 ether follicle as you. Everything is the same. But their melanocyte is mutated. Okay? Number two, what was I going to say? Number two. Here's the one I find very interesting, especially now, unfortunately, it's sad because we have a lot of elder scholars who I strongly respect, but this is the great thing about being a fucking god. Just because I respect you don't mean I gotta fucking agree with you, because I'm a motherfucking god, so let's cut the bullshit. Our elderly scholars who I strongly respect have said things such as, oh, well, black people went into Europe and got really cold and they turned white, and that's where white people come from. Now, I want to mention the fact that albinos have black children. You know how I know this for a fact? Not only the fact that you can look up albinos and see them with their black children, but like I said, I have an albino brother and sister who comes from a different father, okay? They have black children. My albino sister has two beautiful black black princesses who don't look nothing like their mother. So my albino sister gave birth to black babies. So if the theory was true that white people are albinos, how are they producing themselves? Because albinos do not produce albinos. Let's go to the next level of that. The albinoid mutation of the melanocyte comes from the father. Understand that the man is a degeneracy of the X or the woman. Overstand. Now listen, I'm a man saying this. And you know why I'm saying this? Because I ain't got no goddamn ego. It's good. Let me correct myself. My ego is microscopic to my intelligence. So I can say this without feeling nothing at all. Every form of deformity, 99% of them come from the Y chromosome. Why? Because the Y chromosome is already degenerate of the X. So when you find the rarity of certain deformities in children, understand it usually comes from the father. Because the woman passes on mitochondrial DNA. The woman passes on mitochondrial DNA. Her DNA is fucking perfect. See, this, by the way, this is why they're pushing this interracial shit, showing constantly white men with black women, because they're so desperate to save themselves that they need black women right now. They're not pushing our black ass with white bitches, because that's old as fuck and we can't do shit. All we can do is make that individual white woman more divine. That's another subject. I'm not gonna get on that. But I'll just explain like this. Perfect example is the Kardashians. Notice the motherfucking bitches get blacker and sexier and younger all the time. Why? Because they guzzling black nuts. That's all they do is absorb black men constantly. That's another subject. I'm not going to get into that. Now, 99% of abnormalities and deficiencies that we see in our children, which is not common, but when we do see them, 99% of them come from the Y chromosome. It comes from the father, okay? And that is because, as man, I'm already a degenerate form of you. I accept my motherfucking purpose and position. Do you? I accept that the black woman is my God. Do you? God damn it. I accept that shit. I accept that I am a tool to be utilized by the black woman. Do you? I accept that shit. All right? Does that mean I'm gonna be a bitch, nigga? Fuck no. I'm gonna put your ass in your goddamn place because that's what you created me to do, to bring order to your chaos. So yeah, I'm gonna put your ass in your place, but I'm gonna put you before me because that's my job. And even when I put you in your place, I'm only doing that to make sure that I can sufficiently serve you. Now, I'm going in right now. I wanna wrap this up. I'm surprised that this is still going. I wonder how long all of this stuff lasts, but I ain't got no time to be. I'll be up on here running my mouth all night with y'all. I'll be up here running my mouth all night with y'all on all type of subjects, but let's just summarize everything. Yes, primordial, my black waters of all existence. You are absolutely right. She is the source. She is the source. She's definitely the source. She's the source. But also, we must understand that her nature is to receive. Receive comes in many forms. Receive comes in acceptance. That's why if you notice, y'all are so quick to accept everything. You don't notice that? Y'all accept homosexuality. Y'all accept deformities. Y'all just accept everything because exception is another form of receiving, which is another form of magnetism. Are y'all listening? Magnetism is just another form of receiving and accepting. All right? I want to close. I want to wrap this up. I want to wrap this up now, y'all. Racism is not natural to the indigenous humanity of this planet. It is a systematic creation and invention by the Indo-European clans who came across the first groups of black-skinned people that they had to dominate and destroy, building color caste system as well as breeding caste systems. The abnormalities that we see today are direct results of chemicalized pregnancies, hormonal dysfunctions, and the after effect of afterbirth indoctrination. I'm making a media survey in my crib and I did a lot of lectures. Yes. I'm a see. Because I ain't gonna. This is my first time going live on YouTube, so I hope I know what the fuck I'm doing. Maybe you could give me some pointers, because I ain't gonna lie. I'm winging everything because I'm listening to the spirit. The spirit, I don't like doing this. The spirit told me, nigga, your shit got deleted because your ass need to be fucking one-on-one heads on. All right? You see? Point of the matter, y'all. We are the original beings of not only this earth, but this entire galactic and omniversal existence. We emerged out of primordial waters that were already conscious before the densities of our creation of bodies and matter. Because those primordial waters that we call Nun, those black waters, were already conscious. We're already conscious. This is also why you will hear many divine teachers and many leaders that were masters of the science will tell you there is no time when man was not. Because man is a consciousness. Mem Alf Nun. Man doesn't mean the male. Man means mother, father, son. Mem Alf Nun. Okay, that's a whole nother subject I'm not going to go into. But man has always been conscious and in existence because he comes from the conscious black waters, which we refer to in ancient times as the waters of Nun. So you don't have a beginning. Now you do have multiple cycles and beginnings of your density in this physical state. But as far as your consciousness and your mind has always been in existence. It's just been placed in different vessels throughout times and cycles. All right, I want to wrap this up because I will keep running my mouth all night long, and I won't wrap this shit up. And I gotta get up and do what I gotta do tomorrow. I got a service. I love y'all. I miss y'all on my goddamn IG, man, in my DMs. Please comment, share. Anything that you want me to go into, please do. Anything that you want me to clear up or make more precise, please do. Love y'all to death. I have no purpose without y'all. And I do this for y'all. I want to give y'all ammunition against the rhetoric that you face out in this recessive world. Yes, yes, primordial waters. My quality uniting essential earth nurturing queen. Yes, yes, yes. Love you. I want y'all to be prepared for when you come against this recessive rhetoric. Not all. You're racist. Not all white people. That's reverse racism. Let me just say this before I get out of here. Pay attention to that term, reverse racism. What is a white person telling you when they call you a reverse racist? They're saying that racism belongs to them, and you got the nerve to use it. Therefore, you have reversed the racism which belongs to them. Hello? What the fuck is a reverse racist? What is a reverse racist? Because in order to reverse something, that means that its initial state was in the right direction, and then I reversed it the same way that they reverse gender roles. So when someone calls you a reverse racism or reverse racist, they're saying that racism belongs to them, and you have the nerve to use it. Don't let these people fool you. Do not let these people make you feel guilty of your intelligence. Do not make these people make you feel guilty of your observation. You are the motherfucking gods of this goddamn planet and this galaxy and this solar system and this goddamn omniverse. Claim that shit. Let the world know and fuck them. And anybody who don't like it, tell them to kick motherfucking rocks with open-toed sandals, goddammit. Kick them rocks. Alright, y'all. I'm getting up off here. I don't want my videos to last too long because I don't want people to be too reluctant to watch them. Because I know there's some of us out there, when we see a video that's an hour and a half long, we're reluctant to watch them. So I'm going to get up out of here, y'all. I love y'all to death. Understand, you are the 9 branches of one seed of this planet from a divine source that is omniversal. You are the hybridism of every divine black being within the omniverse. You are a mixture of so many different divine genetics, which is why you have 9 branches within your mitochondrial DNA as woman. Okay? So there is nothing that can challenge your divinity as a black man and a black woman of this planet. Anybody who dares to question and give you the same cliche rhetoric, stomp the shit out of their ass with facts and science. Facts and science. And when they say some bullshit rhetoric, tell them to back it up with facts and science. Anytime y'all come across something, please let me know and I will give you all I can. I'll give you reference. I'll give you anything I can to help you, because I'm noticing that's our problem. We have no defense. We have no defense against this. Not all. We have no defense against this. We need love. We have no defense against this. You can't fight hate with hate. We have no defense against that. So we just kind of just go with the flow and just let it be. And then these idiots think they're winning something because we're not equipped with the indoctrination and with the armory of facts, science, and historical facts of this planet to combat the rhetoric and cliche nonsense that they're saying. So by all means, when you come across these people, before you even start, please DM Mind Ascension Alchemy, DM Mind Ascension Barber, comment on my videos and ask me for anything, and I'll give it all to you so you can smack these niggas in the face with facts, man. Because let me tell you something that's beautiful about facts. It's like magic. People disappear. They disappear. Some of y'all have read my comments on my Instagram page where people, well, what's your problem with homosexuality? What white people, da, 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 da. And then as soon as I come with facts, they just disappear. They just go away. Facts are like magic, man. They make people disappear. And we need to start building a foundation based off being scientists, off being divine. Because we are, when I say you are a motherfucking God, I'm not saying that out of ego or out of arrogance or to make you feel fucking good. Fuck your feelings. I don't give a shit about your feelings. I'm an occultist. I'm a metaphysicist. I don't give a shit about how you feel. I'm giving you facts. And the fact of the matter is, you are God. Generator, operator, and destroyer. You generated every race on this planet. The only race you didn't generate was the white man because you grafted him. But every other race that we see today that's not white, you generated them. The black woman gave birth to that. Claim your divinity. I love y'all. Please comment. Please share. Let me know anything more I can do. Let me know anything better that I can do. Critique. Tell me any suggestions that you would like to see. Please. I am a servant. God's a scientist and God's a servant. I am a servant. So please let me know how I can serve y'all better. On that note, I love y'all. And embrace your divinity. Oh, shit. All right, now I'm trying to see. All right, how do I? Okay, I could share. I'm pressing this button. It says share. So I'm going to press share. Oh, okay. That's everything else. Okay. All right. So let me see. I just want to check everything. Oh God, they got stupid crap to where I could. Oh God, I'm so tired of this little stupid shit. I could pick if I want bubbles on my head and dance party. What the fuck is this bullshit? All right, I want to make sure that I don't leave y'all without making sure that I save this correctly. Show live chat messages. None, hide all chat. Okay, I'm gonna say show. And then, oh boy. Well, look who joins the show. Neely Rojas. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but I know I'm not. All right. I don't see any buttons down here showing me how to do this, so I'm gonna press finish right now. And I hope I'm able to save this, but like I said, it's my first time going live on YouTube. I think with YouTube, after you finish, it will upload. Okay. Hopefully it will. I'm going to press finish right now. Love y'all to death. Y'all are my family. And you know why I love y'all? Because y'all are fucking me. I don't love y'all because I like y'all ass. I love y'all because I know who y'all are. And y'all are me. And I love my damn self. So I love y'all because y'all are me. Period.